Jacob Fatu dethrones Cody Rhodes. Surprise entrance for the women's Money in the Bank ladder match. Paul Heyman's girlfriend is allegedly working under verbal agreement with the WWE. WWE RAW star is the sixth member of the Wyatt Sicks. Will the Wyatt Sicks get over with fans? Triple H responds to a WWE Superstar's big announcement. Roman Reigns is allegedly not coming back to WWE. Jacob Fatu breaks silence after making a shocking WWE debut. Jacob Fatu broke Cody Rhodes' 2 ribs on SmackDown. And more, let's dive right into it. Surprise entrance for the women's Money in the Bank ladder match. We are heading closer to the highly anticipated WWE Money in the Bank Premium Live event, where top male and female superstars will compete in 6-person ladder matches, respectively, for the coveted briefcases. As of this writing, Io Sky and Chelsea Green have qualified for the women's MITB ladder match. The other participants will be revealed in due time, but there could be a couple of massive swerves in the making. Here, we look at 3 possible surprise entrants in the women's Money in the Bank ladder match this year. So, without further ado, let's begin. Number 1. Alexa Bliss debuts new gimmick at Money in the Bank 2024. Alexa Bliss last appeared on WWE television at Royal Rumble 2023 when she challenged for the Raw Women's Championship. She has since stepped away from the squared circle, and fans have been eagerly awaiting her return. Bliss has already confirmed that she's returned to the gym. Alexa Bliss recently shared a picture with a new haircut. The 32-year-old could debut a new gimmick upon her return to WWE if she is medically cleared to compete. Many expected Bliss to return as part of the Bray Wyatt tribute faction, the Wyatt Sicks, who debuted on Raw earlier this week. Instead, she could now return as a surprise entrant in the women's Money in the Bank ladder match. Number 2. Charlotte Flair returns from injury. Charlotte Flair has been away from the ring since suffering from a torn ACL, MCL, and meniscus during a match on SmackDown in December last year. She recently shared a huge update on her recovery after undergoing a test that showed more strength in her surgical leg in certain aspects. The Queen said she misses WWE fans and can't wait to lace her boots again. Today was my first Biodex isokinetic training test. I needed to be in the 40% or less deficit for strength compared to my non-surgical leg. I had 20% or less quad strength, and in some of the measurements, I was stronger in my surgical leg. I miss you guys and can't wait to lace my boots again, wrote Charlotte on her post. Although highly unlikely, Charlotte Flair could be one of the biggest surprise returns at WWE Money in the Bank should she be medically cleared in time. It would set her up for massive feuds and create ripples on both Raw and SmackDown. Number 3. Becky Lynch returns to WWE. Becky Lynch last appeared on WWE RAW after King and Queen of the Ring, where she failed to recapture the Women's World Championship from Liv Morgan in a steel cage match. The man is now reportedly a free agent with her contract with the promotion seemingly having expired. Lynch has not appeared on television since the previously mentioned match, and there were speculations of her exploring other options. However, we could see the former Women's World Champion make a huge return as a surprise entrant in the Women's Money in the Bank ladder match. She has never won the briefcase in her career and could return to compete in the 6-woman bout. There have been no reports about her re-signing with the company, but her real-life husband, Seth Rollins, recently returned on Raw, and the man could soon follow suit. Paul Heyman's girlfriend is allegedly working under verbal agreement with the WWE. Paul Heyman has been a part of the bloodline ever since the group's inception. He has proved his loyalty to Roman Reigns time and again, even during his absence. In a backstage segment when Reigns and Heyman shared screen time, the former undisputed WWE champion had called Kayla Braxton Heyman's girlfriend. Paul Heyman and Kayla Braxton went head-to-head on the mic many times on SmackDown and Raw. They were constantly seen trying to get the better of each other whenever there was some progression in the bloodline story. However, the announcer took to her social media handle to let the WWE Universe know that she had decided to part ways with the company after 8 years. Braxton thanked Triple H, Nick Khan, and WWE for allowing her to be the voice of WWE TV. Fightful Select has learned some interesting details about Braxton's working status with the company since her recent announcement. A report from the website claims that Braxton is currently working for WWE under a verbal agreement after her deal expired recently. WWE RAW star is the 6th member of the Wyatt Sicks. The Wyatt Sicks faction finally debuted on WWE RAW last Monday. However, only 5 members appeared on the red brand. A wrestling veteran recently suggested another superstar could join the group after being reborn. The superstar in question was none other than Chad Gable. The leader of Alpha Academy was one of the people taken out by Wyatt Sicks on Raw last Monday. He appeared unconscious and bloodied. Fans even suggested he was murdered by the debuting group. On the Rebooked podcast, wrestling veteran Matthew Rehwoldt, FKA Aiden English, suggested a scenario for Gable's return. The TNA color commentator also had his say on the speculation regarding the sixth and final member of the new Sinister faction. He felt Master Gable could be reborn and become the sixth member of Wyatt Sicks, although he also noted that Bray's presence within the Lantern might also be considered as the final member. Is he reborn as the sixth? Is Bray the sixth and within the Lantern the spirit? You know what I mean? Because there's 5 of them. Is Chad Gable the sixth? Is he gonna be a part of the group? Is he just been done away with for now? Said Raywold. Will the Wyatt Sicks get over with fans? Former WWE manager Dutch Mantell recently shared his thoughts on Wyatt Sicks. The Sinister faction made its debut this past Monday on Raw. There were rumors of Bray Wyatt leading his faction once again ever since the Eater of the Worlds returned to WWE in 2022. However, due to his unfortunate demise, any plans for the faction had to be halted. Nonetheless, his legacy will be continued by his brother Bo Dallas, who portrays Uncle Howdy and seems to be the leader of the Wyatt Sicks. The faction finally arrived in WWE on the latest episode of Raw, laying out multiple people backstage. While the group made its mark right off the bat, Dutch Mantell stated on Sportskeeda Wrestling Smack Talk that he is unsure about their future. The veteran recalled Bray Wyatt's return, where he came back with a lot of hype, but it all slowly fizzled away. When I look at the Wyatt Sicks, I think there's a lot of room there to do, just like they did with Bray. Bray got started, and then all of a sudden, it just kind of closed up on itself. So I don't know, when they bring it back to wrestling, they got a lot of members in there. It's really gimmick-oriented, so I don't know. It's good to have it, but I don't know how over they're going to get. That's what I am saying. Wyatt Sicks also took out Chad Gable on Raw, as the star was left bloodied with a head wound. However, he will be in action on the red brand this week. Triple H responds to a WWE Superstar's big announcement. WWE Chief Content Officer Triple H has sent out a congratulatory message to a superstar on social media. The star in question is WWE's global ambassador, Titus O'Neil. O'Neil has been with WWE since 2009. The in-ring veteran last wrestled 4 years ago and lost to Bobby Lashley in a United States Championship match. He has been working as the global brand ambassador for the promotion for quite some time now. The 47-year-old recently announced that his second book, Wrestling with Fatherhood, My Championship Journey to My Greatest Title, Dad, is available for pre-order. The WWE Superstar received a massive response from fans on X-Twitter. Now, H has shared a tweet congratulating O'Neil for the big accomplishment. Titus O'Neil WWE has accomplished many things in his life that has made the WWE Universe proud. But as he says, his greatest accomplishment of all is being a father. Congratulations on the new book. We can't wait to read it. Titus O'Neil playfully grabbed Vince McMahon following Daniel Bryan's retirement speech on an episode of Raw years ago. He was suspended for 60 days. On the Mike Calta show, WWE veteran and Titus's best friend Batista revealed that Triple H was asked to suspend O'Neil. If that's the case, that's when you take a guy like Titus, who is such a loyal dude, such a good dude, you take him aside and say, "Hey man, that was the wrong time and wrong place. Don't do that again." It never would have happened again. It would have been done. But Vince not only fined and suspended Titus, and he's missing WrestleMania, but he didn't even do it himself. He had Hunter do it. It's just so ridiculous, man. I just don't get it. I think he should leave. Titus O'Neil is one of the most beloved personalities in the wrestling business today. He is a former WWE Tag Team Champion and a 24/7 champion as well. His ardent fans are excited to grab their copies of his new book. Roman Reigns is allegedly not coming back to WWE. WWE delivered one of the best SmackDown episodes of the year, which was packed with several impactful moments. During the post-show review, Dutch Mantell reacted to Solo Sikoa saying Roman Reigns won't be returning to WWE. The Tribal Chief has been absent since WrestleMania 39, and in the meantime, Roman Reigns' faction has seemingly undergone a drastic transformation. With Solo Sikoa as the new self-proclaimed leader, the New Look bloodline has added Tama Tonga, Tonga Loa, and, as of this week, Jacob Fatu to its ranks. During a backstage exchange between Solo Sikoa and Paul Heyman on SmackDown, the star declared that Roman Reigns was not expected to be back. The moment caught Dutch Mantell's attention as he commented on it during this week's edition of Sportskeeda Wrestling Smack Talk. The former WWE manager explained why it was a huge development in the Bloodline saga. Let me tell you something else that changed the course of a lot of things tonight. It was the interview with Heyman and Solo at the beginning. And Solo says, "I don't know if I should be telling you this." and I hate it's coming from me, and he dropped it that Roman Reigns is not coming back. And I went, well, that changes the trajectory of everything. Dutch Mantel added that WWE had successfully created a storyline that can end in various ways. According to him, WWE's creative flexibility has just increased with Sikoa's latest claim about Reigns' status, and it has set up an exciting future, because it made an impact on me, and now they've got another hook. I mean, you can almost have a blind, deaf man book this thing now. They've got so many ways to go, they can almost reach in the box and pull it out and get it to fit. All eyes are now on Roman Reigns, who, despite Solo Sikoa's statement, is expected to return and continue one of the greatest wrestling angles ever. Jacob Fatu breaks silence after making a shocking WWE debut. Jacob Fatu made his long-awaited WWE debut on the latest episode of SmackDown and joined forces with the Bloodline. He recently took to social media to comment on his surprise appearance. On the Blue brand this week, Cody Rhodes was involved in a match against Solo Sikoa in the main event. The American Nightmare was attacked by Tama Tonga and Tonga Loa during the bout, and the referee called for the bell. Kevin Owens and Randy Orton made the save, and a brawl broke out in the ring. When it seemed like Solo was backed into a corner, out came Jacob Fatu. He destroyed all three babyfaces and revealed himself as the latest addition to the Bloodline. The Samoan Werewolf recently took to X, formerly Twitter, to share a photo of him performing a dive onto Cody Rhodes from SmackDown. He sent the latter through the announce table. Fatu tagged WWE in the tweet and included a few blood droplet emojis. The current leader of the Bloodline is Solo Sikoa, who took control of the wheel after Roman Reigns lost to Cody Rhodes at WrestleMania XL. The remaining members are Tama Tonga, Tonga Loa, and the recently debuted Jacob Fatu. Speaking on Not Some Wrestling, Sam Roberts shared his thoughts on how the Samoan Werewolf could be used in WWE as part of the Bloodline. The idea of where does he, Jacob, fits in. Clearly, the idea of a power struggle can be there. I think right now, the idea of Solo Sikoa being his boss, this tribal chief character, a guy who doesn't have to wrestle, this guy who wears a red t-shirt and a blazer, and Jacob Fatu being the guy who takes care of the business, while the Tongans are there as foot soldiers, feels like how this all works out, said Roberts. It'll be interesting to see what happens with the Bloodline after Roman Reigns makes his return to WWE. Jacob Fatu broke Cody Rhodes' 2 ribs on SmackDown. A top WWE superstar has announced that he has suffered 2 broken ribs following Jacob Fatu's vicious attack on last night's edition of SmackDown. The name in question is undisputed WWE champion Cody Rhodes. On last night's SmackDown, Solo Sikoa was mere seconds away from being assaulted by Randy Orton, Cody Rhodes, and Kevin Owens. However, Fatu made his surprise debut and helped Sikoa by putting down the babyface trio. He even hit a big splash on Rhodes after placing him on the announce desk. Tonight, Cody Rhodes defeated Shinsuke Nakamura in a title match at a live event. After the contest, the 38-year-old announced that he had suffered 2 broken ribs. Judging by the fact that the American Nightmare competed in a full-fledged match against Nakamura, it looks like the injury is part of the storyline. Jacob Fatu was unstoppable on last night's SmackDown. Many fans believe that he immediately outshined Solo Sikoa upon his WWE debut. The Samoan Werewolf was one of the most popular wrestlers on the independent circuit before he joined the global juggernaut. Hence, viewers are excited to see what he does next in the coming weeks. As for Rhodes' injury, only time will tell whether it is real or he's simply keeping kayfabe alive. Were you impressed with Jacob Fatu's debut last night? Jacob Fatu dethrones Cody Rhodes. The Bloodline has been the top act in WWE for years now. The stable was started by Roman Reigns and went on to see the inclusion of Jey Uso, Jimmy Uso, Sami Zayn, Solo Sikoa, Paul Heyman, and even The Rock at various points. The faction took a turn following WrestleMania. Jey and Sami are long gone, and Jimmy was kicked out. Meanwhile, Roman and The Rock are away from television. This led to a new era for the group under Solo Sikoa's leadership. Tama Tonga and Tonga Loa were the newest members until Friday Night SmackDown. Jacob Fatu made his long-awaited debut, and he viciously laid out Randy Orton, Kevin Owens, and Cody Rhodes, single-handedly destroying 3 major stars. Now that Jacob is on the Blue brand, many are wondering what path his career will take. This piece will take a look at a handful of directions for the Samoan Werewolf over the coming weeks and months, including a surprise takeover and more. Number 1, he could help the Bloodline run SmackDown. The Bloodline has once again taken over WWE. This seems to be a regular thing, but right now the group is likely unstoppable. The Fierce Foursome could very well be the most dominant version of the stable yet. Solo Sikoa was the enforcer of the Bloodline, and arguably the most dangerous of the original group. Now he is joined by the unwieldy and unpredictable Tama Tonga, the infamous Tonga Loa, and a Samoan werewolf. 4 of the most dangerous performers in the world are united in one WWE faction. Now that Jacob has debuted, he may help his stablemates run the blue brand for the foreseeable future. Who in the world could stop them? With his power, speed, and ruthlessness, anyone who tries to stand up to this new version of the stable is doomed. Number 2, Jacob Fatu could challenge Cody Rhodes for the undisputed WWE Championship. Cody Rhodes is the undisputed WWE Champion. He won the prize title by defeating Roman Reigns at WrestleMania XL Sunday. Since winning the gold, Cody has successfully defended the belt against both AJ Styles and Logan Paul. Solo Sikoa has seemingly made it clear that the Bloodline will be taking back the undisputed WWE Championship. This has led to many fans believing the new head of the table will challenge the American Nightmare at an upcoming premium live event. This isn't necessarily the case, however. Jacob Fatu could be the one who steps up to Rhodes following the brutal SmackDown attack. While Solo is scary, Jacob may be even more dangerous and a bigger threat to Cody Rhodes' title reign. Number 3, he takes over the Bloodline. Fans and experts have constantly debated whether Solo Sikoa is the right person to lead the Bloodline. While many WWE fans believe Roman Reigns is forever the perfect star to lead the group, now there's another frontrunner. Jacob Fatu could, and arguably should be the man leading this new era of the Bloodline. He has more experience than Sikoa and is more impressive in the ring. While both are talented brutes, Fatu's aura could be the difference maker. As a result, WWE may be in for a change in the coming weeks and months. The Samoan werewolf could slowly or abruptly take over the Bloodline. This could lead to Solo being banished or simply put back into a subservient position. Regardless, his time as the new head of the table could end sooner rather than later. Number 4, Fatu could make sure Roman Reigns doesn't return and target Solo. A fascinating conversation took place backstage on WWE Friday Night SmackDown. Ahead of Solo Sikoa's match with Cody Rhodes, he and Paul Heyman were chatting, and Sikoa dropped a bombshell on Heyman saying Roman Reigns is done and never coming back. While it is possible he is being honest, the more likely scenario is that Solo is lying and he's not in communication with the tribal chief. Instead, Sikoa is hoping Reigns doesn't come back so he can rule the Bloodline and WWE himself. Naturally, this sets up a ready-made feud whenever Roman Reigns is ready to return. This could be where Jacob Fatu factors in. The Samoan werewolf could either brutally attack Roman before he even has a chance to return, or interject himself in any conflict upon the tribal chief's potential comeback. This could then lead to Roman and Jacob going one-on-one, which is a dream match for many pro wrestling fans.